Do you believe that you can heal yourself? Too often we give our power away to something outside of ourselves, and rarely, if ever, trust and tap into our innate healing power and intuition. Everyone has this capability to heal in ways we never thought possible. It's your sovereign right to claim and have true health and lasting wellness. Now, here is the host of the Dr. Dolores Show, Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome again from Mount Shasta. I'm still up here on vacation, but sadly, I need to go back home tomorrow. But it's been a wonderful, wonderful visit up here. If people have never been here, it's one of the spiritual hubs, very similar to Maui is very spiritual. Mount Shasta is very spiritual, and also Sedona. But today we're going to be talking about spiritual sovereignty. And once again, I'm Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. And you're here on the Dr. Dolores Show. How many times we give our power away? And sometimes it's on an unconscious level. And we're in a time in humanity's evolution where we're stepping into our personal power, our sovereignty, those wonderful essence or vibration of who we are. And it's time to have a renaissance with that, to reconnect with that, and to allow ourselves to have this as our foundation so we can move together and be aligned with what we're here to do on a soul's purpose. It's like aligning with your soul and your soul's message. So today we're going to step into a world of self-discovery and empowerment with spiritual sovereignty. Reclaim your power now. In this episode, we're going to go on a transformative journey towards reclaiming your spiritual sovereignty. And, in an era where we've had so many distractions and a lot of noise, there's a lot of noise and chaos out in the external world. Finding your essence of your inner self is sometimes could be a challenge. But we're going to explore ancient wisdom and modern insights, all aimed at awakening your true potential. Today, we're going to work on uncovering some of the secrets of spiritual sovereignty and embark on a new path of self mastery and inner peace. And it's really about reclaiming your inner peace and being the eye of the storm of that circulating around you and just calm. For many of us who've experienced being in hurricanes, that's just what it's like. It's like if you've ever been in a hurricane, when the eye passes over you, it's this surreal calmness that there's no noise, there's no birds chirping, but it's like it is so quiet and peaceful. So that's about what we're going to be working towards to reestablish within ourselves that inner calm and peace when everything else is like flying around in the external world, and you could come within yourself and just be at peace. Coming within yourself, it's about doing really good self-care. It's like I joke about this with people. We talked in another episode about empaths, intuitives, and highly sensitive people. Sometimes if you're really sensitive to energy, it's like sometimes it's just too peoply outside and you just have to pull yourself back and do self-care. When we talk about spiritual sovereignty, we're talking about claiming our power, but also allowing ourselves to receive that power. And I think this is the important aspect. We've been programmed in our society to give our power away very easily for a lot of us. And sometimes we don't know, it's sometimes it comes to a trust level too, as far as knowing where we end and something else begins, or even if we trust ourselves to make the right choices. And I know that could be very confusing and I'm going to say, limiting, because we kind of get caught in a standstill, whereas, should I move forward? Should I not move forward? Is this opportunity for me? Is it not for me? It's like we create a lot of confusion and drama within ourselves. So today, let's talk about, and actually we're going to do a little exercise, I think, just to get everybody grounded into their physical body, because I think it's so important to talk about our sovereignty and calling back our power. One of the most important things you could do is to stay fully present in your body. And like I've shared numerous times, it's like many of us are not in our bodies. So when we're in our heads, we're thinking about yesterday, contemplating tomorrow, and trying to figure things out. When we are in our bodies, you're reaching 0 point where you are present right here, right now. And that's all that matters. And from that space, you're able to embrace what's in front of you and discern what's in front of you. Our sovereignty is what is our gift to us as being humans. We have sovereign rights. We have sovereign rights of free will. We have sovereign rights to have our power within us. And this is where it gets very interesting, because in our society, we have given our power away so easily and so often over time that we're at a point in humanity's evolution where it is time to call back our power and to take our power back as human beings. Because when things are being proposed onto us or projected onto us that we should be doing X, Y, and Z, when you're feeling in yourself that that's not your truth, it's about stepping into claiming what your truth is for yourself. So let's just do a real brief grounding meditation. And if you're driving in a car, please don't do this and close your eyes. I don't think that's a good idea. But go to a safe place. And I'm just going to invite people right now just to take a deep breath and blow it out, and take another deep breath and blow it out, and take one more deep breath and blow it out. And right now, just allow yourself to be in this moment right here, right now. Feel your feet upon the floor of the room that you're in. And maybe if you're sitting, your bottom on the seat of the chair and your back supported by the back of the chair. And just allow yourself just to be. So right from your root chakra, we're just going to send down this grounding cord, and just imagine that your legs in your body is a tree, and your roots are coming from the bottom of your feet and going down into the center of the earth to where all the richness is, and allow yourself to ground that way. And just notice in front of you that there's a switch that says open and close. And I invite you to open that switch, flip it, and just allow all the energetic debris that's in your space to clear out immediately. When you do this, you're allowing what's not aligned with who you are to move swiftly throughout your body to ground to the center of the earth. And no need to worry about Mother Earth being contaminated, because she's the ultimate recycler and takes this energy and uses it for good. So when you're ready, just come back to this room and to this place. When you are walking in your power, claiming your power, and doing it in a way that is with kindness, balance, and peace, your world will change. Too often in life, when our power is, taken from us, either consciously or unconsciously, we feel angst and we feel like we're going to get triggered. Those are really good indicators that something's off balance, and we need to go deeper as to why we feel like we're being persecuted if you think your triggering is that extreme, or, judged or criticized or whatever. So it's about looking deeper on a deeper level to allow yourself to explore some possibilities. When, you know, a lot of times when people are caught up in, for an example, if you're in a business for yourself, or you're in a society where we're functioning more in a third dimensional reality, because a lot of us work in that modality, there's a lot of contrast. There's a lot of, I call it black and white thinking, rarely shades of gray, but it's very controlling, very confining. Whereas as we're moving forward into the fifth dimension, there's a focus on love, softness, kindness. Whereas in third dimension, there's a lot of fear running programs. Okay. There's a lot of lack, scarcity, fear, abuse of power, control. And as humanity is starting to evolve and raise their frequency, we're transitioning from that to going to the fifth, which is more of a love based and a more community type of aspect of development. Whereas in third dimension, it's more about ego and what's in it for me. Fifth dimension is like what's in it for all of us, the greater good. So when you come from love and appreciation, you're starting to take your power back. You're starting to give to yourself. When you give to yourself, you're replenishing yourself. For many of us, that's a real interesting concept because we're so good at doing things for others. And for those of us who are codependents and have a tendency to want to fix other people, heal it for them, make it better for them. Did you know that when you do that, you actually take away from that person's experience? We're interfering with their karma. Did you know that? So to me, that was a huge game changer because I don't want to have to be interfering with other people's um, karma. I mean, I think I have enough karma myself to deal with. I don't want to have to take on theirs as well. But the thing is, they're here to learn lessons that they need to learn. And I think for many of us, when we watch other people do things or living their life, we it's best for them. When we interfere, we have a tendency to not allow them to be who they are. And maybe that's something we need to look at within ourselves. How are we showing up and being with other people? And it's not to beat yourself up or to judge or criticize yourself. It's about just observing how you walk on the earth and how you show up in your life and how you are being with other people. So when we are able to allow people to be as they are, experience what they need to experience, but hold the container, hold the space to allow them to be just as they are, because this is what we want for ourselves as well. So we're leading by example, and you're there to support people, yet you're there not to do it for them. What I remind people when I work with them, there's no bypass. We all need to do our work. Nobody's going to do it for you. I can't do your healing for you because it would take away the richness that you're going to be able to have by having that experience. I could support you and be your best cheerleader and witness that. And it really is amazing when you go from that aspect and you witness people stepping into their power and taking their power back. It's amazing. When we're able to come from that place, that's where magic happens. So we're going to be going on a short break. And once again, you're listening to the Dr. Dolores Show, and I'm Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. We'll see you when we get back.
Do you trust your instincts? Many of us don't. Yet this is the key to connecting to your innate healer within and your intuition. Tune in to the Dr. Dolores Show with nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer, Dr. Dolores Fazzino, to receive insights and tools to realign with your inner wisdom for lasting health and true wellness. Listen for the Dr. Dolores Show, Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Mountain, 12 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email become a host at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the Dr. Dolores Show with Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also send an email to Dolores at drdoloresfazzino.com. Now, back to the program.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. This is Dr. Dolores Fazzino, medical intuitive, energy whisperer, nurse practitioner, and we are talking about spiritual sovereignty today, about reclaiming your power now. And before we went on break, we were talking about being able to allow people the space and the vessel so they could be themselves, so you can be yourselves as well. And it's so important to lead by example and to, follow your innate wisdom and your intuition. I love it when, I work with people and I teach them how to develop that ability to lean into themselves and trust the wisdom that they're getting. A lot of this is part of our sovereignty, of making the right choices for you, not for the person next to you or for myself or the other person down the street. It's for you right here, right now. So when we are able to step into our power, for some people, that might be a real scary thing to do because they're like, oh my God, what the heck is this? I don't know what this is. They might feel like they're going to abuse it or not know what to do with it. And sometimes they may feel they're not worthy of it. So that's something to look at because we are worthy of that. We are worthy of having everything that we desire. We are worthy of being here on this earth. We are worthy of, just being fully present in our essence. It's about learning how to accept yourself and your greatness. Too many times we have been programmed by our society, especially in the family units that we were probably born into, to be something not of that. But you know what? We're in interesting times right now because it's like all of this is coming to ahead from unconsciousness into consciousness. And as it's in consciousness, that's when we could do something about it and move it forward. So it's about honoring who we are, what we bring to the table, and what we're here to assist with here on earth, because we all have our gifts and talents. And I know so many people are saying, oh my God, you know what? I don't know what my life's purpose is. I have news for you. You're living your life's purpose. How many of us think that, our purpose is, something in the future down the line? No, every day that you're alive and breathing, you are living your life's purpose. It's not something that it's external to you, it's internal. It's about embracing all of who you are. And, we are just one aspect of our bigger self, our higher self, if you want to call it that. Our higher self is our soul. And when we come to Earth and we go to other places as well, we might be having multiple lives at the same time. It's like a ray of our soul comes into this lifetime with us. And so when you're able to tap into your higher self or have a relationship with your higher self, you're able to, and it's almost like you get this dose of empowerment that allows you to come and be who you really are at a soul's level. Nobody really teaches us about this, which is interesting, but I feel that it's essential. So the other thing I would like to do right now is I think it's important to have a connection with your higher self. And I'd like to just allow us to have that interaction. I think it's so important. And I think when we step into merging and allowing that your higher self to merge with you and become with you in this moment, you'll notice something different that happens with your energy. So once again, if you're driving, don't close your eyes, but I just invite people just to close their eyes and just to breathe and just allow themselves to relax, because we are grounded in the present moment. And just in your mind, just ask your higher self to merge with you. And just allow her or him to come into your space and just to expand into your body. You may feel like you're landing into your physical body when this happens. It may come in from a different area. It might come in from your head, your solar plexus. It could come in from anywhere. Just pay attention to that. But once it enters, just allow it to expand and fill the whole vessel of your physical body. From this space, you're grounded in the present moment. This is where you can connect with the higher aspects of yourself, ask questions, receive answers, and just allow yourself to make the right choices for you. And remember, it's not anybody else, it's for you. So just right now, just be with that. And when you're ready, just come back to present time. You may have noticed that as you do that, everything kind of slows down and becomes very, you're very alert, but you're also expanded. It's a cool concept. And I invite people to access that and to merge on a daily basis. Maybe when you're in bed, before you get up, you just kind of bring your higher self in and allow your higher self to commune with you, but also to assist you on your daily journey and what is on your docket for the day. Things may go a lot smoother than you know. You'll have a heightened awareness of what is important and be able to discern between what is the right choice for you and not, what's in alignment with your sovereignty and what's not. So many of us give our power away on an unconscious basis to something outside of ourselves. This is counter to what we've been taught and how we've been programmed in our society. It's about getting the information that you need for you right here, right now, in this moment. Okay. And it's not, cookie cutter and replicatable to everybody else. It's just for you because you are a sovereign being. Your uniqueness makes you who you are. And thank God we're all different. Could you imagine us being, robots walking around? I know they're trying to do that, but no, this is about coming back to self, claiming our soul's given right of being here on earth, being worthy, being lovable, being capable. Those are all part of who we are. We've just been programmed to think other than that. So now it's time for us, as we move from third dimension reality and we ascend up to fifth dimensional, to create something different. Okay? And it's okay. When you spend more time in the fifth dimensional reality, you're going to be able to access your higher self much easier. Okay? When you are moving from third to fifth, the more you could continue to incorporate and merge with your higher self, the higher your vibration is going to rise, and it's going to assist you with your ascension to the fifth dimensional aspect. It's like we're at a bridge right now, and we're learning how to cross the bridge to get to where we're going to be going in the future. It's very exciting to be alive right now because we're witnessing this huge transformation in humanity and the ascension process. So, let's talk a little bit more about making choices for ourselves and the right choices for ourselves. So often, it's so easy to be distracted by the noise and the chaos that's around us. Let's face it, there's a lot of it. And it's probably been amplified even more because as we move from the third dimension to the fifth dimension, and there's more energy being elevated and a more of a beacon being shined on those areas that are very covert and hidden, that have always been there, but we just haven't been witness to them or have seen them until now. It's like things moving from unconsciousness to consciousness, from unseen to seen. Okay. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. I love that saying. I can't unsee that, Once you're awake, you can't go back to sleep. So that's why we're seeing a lot of chaos and drama, and everything's coming from the hidden aspects. So it could be dealt with. So as we move forward, we can make the right choices and start reclaiming our power and taking back our power. Okay. A lot of times we hear about the not so nice things that are happening in society, but I'm optimistic because when all the chaos is really happening, this is a good thing. And how you work with that is you stay centered within yourself. You get your higher self to merge in with you. So you're allowed to claim your sovereignty and just be in the present moment. Okay. So you could be fully aware. So you're able to discern what is right for you and what's not. And we're getting ready to go on our break. But when we come back from break, we're going to talk more about the whole discernment thing and with sovereignty and how important that is. A lot of times we see that shiny bauble out there and we're like, oh, squirrel, and it gets our attention. And maybe that's not the right thing for us. So it's about embracing that, learning to work with that, but also allowing ourselves to experience that. So once again, I'm Dr. Dolores Fazzino. I'm a nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. And when we return, we're going to talk more about spiritual sovereignty and learning about spiritual discernment. So see you when we get back.
Do you trust your instincts? Many of us don't. Yet this is the key to connecting to your innate healer within and your intuition. Tune in to the Dr. Dolores Show with nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer, Dr. Dolores Fazzino, to receive insights and tools to realign with your inner wisdom for lasting health and true wellness. Listen for the Dr. Dolores Show, Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Mountain, 12 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse
How
practitioner.
wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
This is the Dr. Dolores Show with Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also send an email to Dolores at drdoloresfazzino.com. Now, back to the program.
Welcome back, everybody. This is the Dr. Dolores Show. I'm Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. And we've been talking about spiritual sovereignty and really reclaiming your power. And before break, we were talking about discernment and spiritual discernment. So we're going to talk about that now. Too often, many of us give our power away. And, we're talking about there's in the world where there's a lot of noise and chaos, there's a lot of distractions. So it's just like all of a sudden you're getting drawn, there's a shiny bauble over there and you want to grab it. And then there's another shiny bauble over there. So it's like our attention span and our react mode are kind of dovetailed together. And a lot of times we're reacting instead of really discerning and also pulling back and realizing what's important to us and what's not important to us. I know in the world of business, because I'm involved in business as well, being my own boss and a coach and also an independent contractor as a healthcare provider, is that there's a lot of noise out there. There's a lot of distraction. Sometimes you don't know what's real and what's Memorex, as I used to call it. I'm really dating myself now because Memorex was like a tape recorder thing, if it's like the real deal or not. And what's a person to do? It's just like, okay, well, the way they language things is so delicious sometimes. What you're actually getting is a false promise, and you really don't realize that sometimes until you're into something and then you realize, okay, this is not aligned. So what's a person to do? So sometimes what I've had to do personally is just sit with something and just feel what's going on, feel, energetically, ask my higher self, is this aligned with what I need to do next for my business, so to say, or need to do next with healing something that I'm working on, or need to, is something that's going to be aligned, that's going to assist me to get where I need to next. Those are all very good questions to use for discernment. What happens, I feel, for some people is that they just kind of react and they do something. And I think sometimes they live to regret it after the fact. They might have invested money in something and realized it wasn't all that it had promised to, or a lot of false promises have been made. I think we see this a lot in the personal growth and also the healing modalities of what is going on. What I find very interesting is that sometimes the people who are marketing, whatever they're marketing, it's like a cut and paste. They're like copycatting something else that somebody else did, but it's not really their stuff. And there's like a disconnect there. And I believe that the more that you become more discerning and more in how could I say, more connected to your higher self, I think it's going to be easier for you to make those decisions based on what is in alignment with who you are and where you're going. And I'm just going to share a couple of stories because this kind of actually happened to me this last week. I was invited to be part of a program where we were going to be networking and sharing a gift and probably a raffle prize and all this other stuff. And the person who was putting it together, everything seemed fine. And then all of a sudden this last week, there was all these hiccups. It was like she was saying that, something that I had given to her is not what she really wanted. But what I noticed in myself is just that, well, this has been working well. Why would I want to change it to accommodate you and your agenda? So I had to pop back a little bit and just feel that, because I felt like I was no longer aligned with that particular project. And yet she kept coming back saying that there was glitches with my website and stuff. Well, I did have my webmaster check it out. There are no glitches. So I'm not really sure what was going on, but I took that as a sign from the universe that, you know what, I think I'm going to have to bow out of this gracefully and be gracious about it. And just, this is not the right um, opportunity and the situation for me, because this is no longer feeling energetically aligned. Something was off. I didn't know exactly what it was, but when you start getting those intuitive insights, pay attention, because just because you're signed up to do something, you still can change your mind. Okay, nothing is like concrete, not unless you signed a contract, which you still could break. But if it's not, in alignment with where you're going or who you are, by all means, please honor that within yourself. That's your sovereign right as a human being to decide for yourself what is correct and what's not, and not give your power away to something. Okay, so that I felt was very, very, interesting to observe that and just have that experience myself. Another thing that happened as well too, this is where people kind of learn, there's a lot of opportunists out there. Okay, so it's about learning how to discern what is real and what is Memorex, what is real and what's a scam, what is real and what is, something that feels sticky and you just don't know why it feels sticky. Trust that. There's something off about that. And your inner wisdom is knowing, and your higher self is working with you, hopefully, to assist you with what is right. When you have to be, if something doesn't feel right or something feels off, please honor those red flags, because it might be subtle, but it's there. And, just decide that, not every opportunity is for you, particularly if it sounds too good to be true. Okay. I had another one of those this week too. So I think the universe is showing me, what kind of goes on behind the scenes. And, you know, ask a lot of questions. If you get opportunities, ask a lot of questions. If they're not willing to hop on a Zoom call with you and go face to face, red flag right there, because it is available everywhere. So something's just not lining up here. And so, especially, they're trying to make it sound too good to be true, because it's like when it's too good to be true, it's time to fold up your tent and go home. So I say, and it's about claiming your sovereign power and asking higher self to show me what is really going on here. Allow me to step out of my way. Yes, I would want to have X, Y, and Z happen, yet something is not aligned energetically. And it's learning how to trust that. So when you are stepping into your sovereignty, it's like you're making the right decisions for you right here, right now. You're claiming your personal power. You are changing your script that you are worthy, you are capable, and you are loved, and you're appreciated, and you're entitled to be respected, valued, and, like I said, appreciated. It's so important. Too many of us have given our power away to something outside of themselves. Another one is, you may have a job, okay? This is an interesting one. When you're in a job where you're not being valued, respected, or appreciated, okay? That's something to look at because, are you allowing that type of behavior to be in your personal life as well? Many of us have done a lot of work on our personal aspect of ourselves and our personal life, but when we show up to work, all of a sudden it's like repeating patterns of, you know, not being valued, appreciated, or I call it themes and variations. So if you're not allowing that type of behavior in your personal life and you're allowing it in your work life, maybe it's something you need to look at because where is the mismatch and the misalignment? It's like being consistent in both business, personal, and professional. Important. Claiming your sovereignty and stepping into your power. It's okay to speak your mind. It's okay to say, to be who you are. And if other people have an issue or a concern with that, that's on them. That has nothing to do with you at all. It's about going back to, the show we had on boundaries. It's setting really good boundaries and being okay with that within yourself. And if you're not, dig a little deeper and find out why. Are you not feeling worthy? Or are you feeling guilty? Or you're feeling like you're being shamed? I invite you just to take a step deeper into that as to why that is so. Because I think there'll be some rich nuggets in there that will be game changers. So I can't believe it's like it's time for another break already. It's like, gosh, where's the time going? We're going to talk more about putting this all together and how you can move forward so you could really learn how to be the calm within the storms of your life, okay? The chaos and the drama and, the squirrel, that little squirrel, that distractor that takes us out of our peace and also makes us crazy sometimes. It's just like we need to learn how to tame the squirrel. We're going to call that taming the squirrel and coming within and just allowing yourself to really connect with yourself, to learn and to trust that little voice and learn how to connect with your higher self. So when we come back, we're also going to talk about forgiveness, which is coming up in our next episode. And I think forgiveness is a real good dovetail with this show because when we look at learning how to forgive not just other people, but ourselves as well, this is where we open up we get a lot more freedom and we're able to be more creative as well. So once again, you're listening to the Dr. Dolores Show. I'm Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer, and we will be back shortly.
Do you trust your instincts? Many of us don't. Yet this is the key to connecting to your innate healer within and your intuition. Tune in to the Dr. Dolores Show with nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer, Dr. Dolores Fazzino, to receive insights and tools to realign with your inner wisdom for lasting health and true wellness. Listen for the Dr. Dolores Show, Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Mountain, 12 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. This is the Dr. Dolores Show with Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also send an email to Dolores at drdoloresfazzino.com. Now, back to the program.
Welcome back, everybody. You're listening to the Dr. Dolores Show, and I'm Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, and energy whisperer. Yeah, well, we've been talking about spiritual discernment and spiritual sovereignty and how you could incorporate that into your life. And, what I feel is really important is that connecting with your higher self is like a game changer. When you're able to ground yourself and tap into the bigger aspect of who you are, you're gaining a wealth of knowledge that you may not even have. And there's nothing to figure out. It's almost as if you're being divinely guided and led to what is next. And it's a very tangible and very important way to bridge the third dimensional reality to where we're going with our ascension process and up to the fifth dimension. We're bridging from the ego-based thing to more of a heart-based and love-based thing, from a fear to a love, and from an I to a we. There is nothing to fear. When we're in fifth dimensional reality, we're experiencing love. We're more grounded, more present. We're in the present moment. When our higher self comes into our connectiveness and beingness, it's almost like we have Google available to us from the astral planes. It's like we are getting downloaded with this beautiful, rich information that's unique for who you are, because this is your bigger part of your soul that's giving you information. Okay. So when we are ready to move forward and start discerning for ourselves and stepping into our power, sometimes that could be a real scary place. And I just encourage people to take baby steps. Sometimes it's like we think that this is as big as an elephant. And how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So you take baby steps. Be kind to yourself. Know that you're on a journey. It's not a one and done. There's no bypass, folks. You need to actually take a step into this and kind of work with it. And the rewards will be amazing. You'll probably experience things that you never thought you would because of this, because you're allowing yourself to step into a different playing field where everything is there for you already. There's nothing to do. You're just allowing it to come to you, allowing yourself to receive, allowing yourself to absorb and to connect with this energy that is innately who you are, your sovereignty, your sovereign right of being, your soul's essence of what is important. Just sit with that for a moment, because I know that was a big one for some people. When you sit with that, just feel what that feels like. It's this calmness, this inner knowing that no matter what's going on, you're going to be okay. It's about allowing yourself to receive. What I instruct some of my clients with is like when you connect with your higher self, you could tell when you popped out of it. It's like popping out of your sovereignty. Okay. It's like all of a sudden you're in your head thinking about something. So when that happens and you're starting to get triggered or something is happening in your world, invite your higher self to merge with you. Just say, higher self, merge with me now, and just allow that to occur. And then you'll see a difference. Life may seem a little brighter through your eyes because you're in the moment, present moment, right here, right now. That's all that matters, really. So you have a tool, another tool to add to your belt that's going to assist you with your sovereignty in your rights as being a human being, and allowing you to step into your power and even take back your power. When you are able to claim that for yourself, this is where the magic happens. Your life is going to be like you're going to be the alchemist of your life. You have that magic within you. It's time to embrace that, allow that to happen, and to really step into it. I want to leave you with this. You know, the most important thing that you can do for yourself is give yourself this gift. You have to claim it for yourself. Nobody could give it to you. You have to own that and make that yours. Next week, we're going to talk about forgiveness and healing. I feel that it's your journey to liberation, and we're going to talk about the powers behind forgiveness. And there's many ways to do that. And so often, many of us are so hard on ourselves. And, you know, we've all done things. I have too. And self-forgiveness is probably one of the most challenging things because we hold ourselves to such a high reverence and regard that we just don't cut ourselves any slack. And I think looking at this, especially this time of the year, we're getting into our fall season here in this part of the world where I live in Southern California, that we are, it's a great time to review where we're going. It's like as we're going into the fall and getting into winter and hibernation, it's like going deep. So we're going to unlock the incredible potential of forgiveness next week, a force that can mend even the deepest wounds and ignite your personal and spiritual growth. Through stories that I'm going to share with you, you're going to witness individuals who've harnessed forgiveness to rise above adversity, mend fractured relationships, and discover inner peace that transforms your lives. So we're going to look at the old different spiritual and scientific dimensions of forgiveness, and to take control of our destiny and break free from the shackles of the past, to heal, to grow, and to liberate your spirit. This is an invitation to a brighter, empowered future. Forgiveness and healing, your journey to liberation, is a catalyst for change, your guide to resilience, and your path to life that's a life that's truly your own. So know that you are loved more than you can imagine. You are worth everything that you desire. No matter what anybody has ever told you before, that's an illusion. That's not a truth. That's a false belief. Know that it's baby steps. Be kind to yourself. Love yourself. Nurture and feed yourself. Allow yourself to feel and experience, and know that the universe has your back, especially your higher self. So once again, you've been listening to the Dr. Dolores Show. I'm Dr. Dolores Fazzino, nurse practitioner, medical intuitive, energy whisperer. And if you want to reach out to me, please visit my website, drdoloresfazzino.com, and you could get a guided meditation that's going to assist you to be in the present moment, especially for those people who have squirrels in their brains. So here we go, and enjoy the rest of your day, and stay tuned next week. Can't wait to have you here.
Thank you for listening to the Dr. Dolores Show. Dr. Dolores returns Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Mountain, 12 p.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. Until then, remember to be kind to yourself and create your best life. You are worth it.